Well, good morning, everybody. It's good to speak with you.
Me
Your show
too.
is fantastic. Um, for my first question for both of you, had you been fans of Superman before taking these roles?
Yeah, I mean, I was a fan of I was a fan of like Justice League because I remember watching that in high school, Justice League Unlimited. Yeah, yeah. So essentially, yes. So
Yeah, same. I mean, I just love superhero stuff, and Superman is just so iconic. I used to watch Smallville growing up, and so that was a big thing. And yeah, I was super honored and shocked that I got Lois Lane and that I get to be a part of this universe. Like I wouldn't have thought. So it's very cool. I'm very honored. Yeah.
And both Lois and Jimmy get to interact more with the General this year. Can you talk about that?
ooh.
Yeah, I mean, obviously for Lois, the general is her father.
Yeah.
And so I think seeing that relationship evolve, especially after, season one ending, where he does stand up for her, he listens to her, and he doesn't hurt Clark or Superman. And yeah, now we're going to see how the general also evolves and how their relationship grows. And just the dad-daughter relationship is very complex and very layered. And um, yeah, I think that'll be a interesting and very exciting storyline as well for season two.
And would you say that learning more about the parents of the characters is a theme for season two?
Oh yeah, I guess so. Because also for Clark and Superman, we see Jor-El stuff, and yeah, we got to meet Jimmy's parents too
Yeah.
now.
No, I know they're out there. They're out there.
They're definitely out there.
You
They're,
beat me to my next question. So, no news on Jimmy's family showing up?
well, you know what? They support him. They're huge supporters of Flamber. So we know that they like and subscribe to the page. We can assume that in his new millions that he's bought his parents something. So yeah, they're definitely out there.
Can you talk about Jimmy's new job and how does it take away from his time with his buddies Clark and Lois?
Yeah, I mean, it essentially it does and it doesn't. I feel like Jimmy is always one of those people who constantly wants to bring his friends like in his world and like in his newfound success. So I think he's always cognizant about that. It's just he just has a little bit more money and a little bit more gumption in how he goes about certain things now with this newfound wealth. So yeah, money will change anybody per se, but I feel like Jimmy still stays true to his core uh, uh, morals and values, and yeah, he still wants to be that good friend to both Clark and Lois. So
So I hear you all record your lines separately. How do you develop such great chemistry that way?
just the director and writers, just them, at least for me, when I was in the booth, them redirecting us. Like again, like I had no idea how they would sound as their characters, and it's just magic how they do everything in post. I still don't know. I just know that we all bring our best to it and it kind of just works out.
Yeah, I'm like, I don't know. You tell me. Like, how did they do it?
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, I agree with Ishmael. Like, I think their direction, because they know what everyone else is doing. They know so they'll kind of lead us in that direction. And I think maybe once in a while, like when you guys recorded before me, they would let me hear
Oh,
just like snippets. Like that was cool. But at the end of the day, yeah, it's just the finished product. And like I think it's so cool that they were able to create that chemistry. And I'm sure when they cast us, they knew that that was going to be there, which is why we also got cast. But yeah, magic.
What is your favorite part about the Lois and Clark dynamic on this show?
I feel like so many things. I just love that the relationship feels so wholesome and like pure, and like because we're really seeing all the like awkward moments, the glances, the blushing, like I just think it's super sweet, but also it feels super real. They both get to be vulnerable, and I think it's like signs of a healthy relationship. Um, and we're getting to see them just kind of grow together and listen to each other and actually be there for each other. It's just like the rom-com that I want to see and I want to be in, and I'm in it. So that's very cool. It's just so sweet and wholesome. I'm just, I like giggle when I watch it. I blush when I watch it. So
We all do. We're all just like totally invested. Last year, Jack was able to play his Star Trek animated character in live action. Would you have any interest in playing live action versions of Lois and Jimmy someday?
Absolutely. That would be awesome. I'm gonna speak that into the universe that it happens sooner than later.
I mean, same, 100%. Yeah.
And since you had mentioned that you had been fans of things like Smallville or Justice League Unlimited, are there any guest voices you would love to hear on this show and work with?
Ooh, yes.
That legacy.
I forgot his name. Uh, there is. But I can't. Hold on. Let me look it up. You-
I don't know specifically, but I'm sure anyone who would come in would be sick, like any from any universe, or like any rendition.
Might we ever get a musical episode on that note?
Oh my
'Cause
God,
I
someone
know,
else asked that question too.
well, I know you have a beautiful voice, so
Oh, thank you. You're so sweet. I mean, I'd be
That's who I
down.
want. I'd want to hear Keith. I would want Keith David to do something on Superman.
oh, nice.
He's
That's fantastic.
awesome.
So, there have been many adaptations of Superman over the years. What is something that you'd say is particularly special or unique about what My Adventures with Superman brings?
I think it's just the anime, lens through it. It's just the icing on the cake of like how they were able to still capture just like the essence of that, but it still has like this warmth and still comic book feel to it. It still stays true to the lore of the comic books, but it just I don't know. I think it gives it like a much more of a youthful, young feeling, fun feeling, so to speak. So it's always fun, watching it through that lens. So
Yeah, I feel like our show is just a fresh take. It's something I haven't seen before in the Superman world. And again, seeing all of our characters like starting out, instead of already kind of settled in their positions. And yeah, like also more of a focus on Clark rather than Superman. And so seeing Clark's relationship with Jimmy and Lois, I think is fun. And it's quirky, it's funny, but it's so heartfelt and it's so wholesome. And I think that's new. I think we need more, brighter things to watch that aren't like blood. And we love blood and gore too, but just something that feels wholesome. That's the key word I keep thinking of. So
And for my last question, what do you think fans will be most excited to see in season 2
mm. I
that
think
you're
we're
allowed to talk about?
Yeah, I think the introduction of some characters for sure. I mean, Kara's obviously going to be introduced, Clark's cousin, and that'll be fun. So I think fans will be excited to see the characters they love now come into our world.
yes, the villains. Seeing a younger version or a yeah, a younger version of that. So
Well, thank you so much for your time. Everybody watching needs to tune in because it's great.
Well,
Thank you.
thanks, Craig.
All right. Bye bye.
Great day. Bye.